Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. And good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. We are live on this Monday, the final day of August 31st, 2020. I can't believe it. September is basically here. I'm Jace. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hope you had a good weekend. Join me in welcoming my sidekick sister from another mister, the lovely and talented, the ambidextrous Kendall, everybody. Good morning, Kendall.
Hello. Fun facts abound.
That's right. Not only are you here, but executive producer Jeff is back from his ceramics getaway. He won, we found out, 2 blue ribbons. 2 ceramic blue ribbons.
Is this all a big joke?
It's not real. Jeff has no crafting skills whatsoever. He can executive produce a fabulous talk show, but that's about it.
That's as far as the skills go.
Right there. No, he's back. We're glad to have him. How you doing?
I'm doing well, but I think everyone at home wants to know how you're doing, how Dar is doing.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a weekend. And probably one of the most challenging weekends that my family's had in quite some time. And in 2020, that's saying a lot.
Right.
My mother has, I went through an inventory this week of the loss that my mother has suffered this year. And 2020 has been awful. This isn't a contest, but 2020 has been awful for everybody. But my poor mother, the loss of her husband, the loss of one of her beloved dogs. Anybody that has a pet knows that hits the heart just as hard as a loss of a family member. They are family. And now my mom living in Lake Charles, Louisiana, ground zero for Hurricane Laura. My mom is on the precipice of losing everything as far as her personal belongings and her home. I came on the air on Thursday and Friday a little more optimistic than my face shows right now. And that's because we thought it was a little better than what reality really is. Friday, as soon as this broadcast was over, I called my mom, and I started to get a sense that things were much worse as far as her house is concerned. You're looking at pictures of the damage. Leo, if we can stay on this photograph for just a second, what you're looking at is the side of my mom's home, and that the debris that you see on her driveway is actually not from her house. It is actually from a house down the neighborhood. That used to be, you're looking at what used to be a carport. Her carport is no longer there. The carport was thrown to the beginning of her neighborhood, which is basically a block away. And as you can see, the siding is off, roof damage, substantial roof damage from the winds that were about 136. Some are now saying 150 miles an hour. We have another picture here, Leo, if we can show it. I believe this is the back of her home. You can see the air conditioning unit, very heavy, brand new. The winds were so strong, it tipped that over. That gives you just a little bit. That is what used to be her backyard, portions of her backyard. Right there was a carport that would cover that area. As you can see, you see broad daylight. The carport is no more. And I think that's it. I think maybe we have one more photograph that I will explain in just a second. This is a preview of basically the end of the story that I will try to tell. I'm kind of cried out. I've cried more this past weekend than I think I've cried my entire 46 years on Earth. But that trailer right there is a big reason why I have a tear deficit. On Saturday, I had about 7 calls with my mom throughout the day. Cell service is spotty there. My mom is one of 78,000 people that live in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Lake Charles has 100% of the population without water, without sewage, and without electricity. And let me say that again, 100% of the population of that city has none of the basics. And the mayor of Lake Charles was on the news this morning saying that it's going to be a month or longer before any of those services can be restored. My mother has been living in what can only be described as some sort of she has no water, no electricity, so there's no air conditioning. And today it's 90 degrees there. So what the hurricane didn't destroy, the heat and humidity is destroying, and including possibly my mom. And she stayed in the house, as you guys know. She couldn't evacuate, her and her dog. And she's there. The dampness of the carpet is adding to the torment. The roof damage is starting to leak. She has spotty cell service because cell towers were destroyed. So communication is not really consistent. There's no running water. My mother is literally using the facilities in buckets, and she's one of thousands of people. So on Saturday, I had my stepfather's good friend Bubba, and don't we all need a friend named Bubba? Bubba called me, and he loves my mom, and he said, and I'm going to say this bluntly, get her the H out of there. He goes, because if you don't, she could die. Your mom will die in that house. So my stubborn mother, I called her and I said, Mom, we're going to have a really hard conversation. I said, but I need you to come here. I said, I need to come get you, and I need you to live here. And she didn't even argue. She started crying, and she said, things are so bad. She goes, could you come today? And it was a little joke I said, Mom, if I could chopper you out of there, I would. So she's coming to stay here. So we spent the weekend, and God bless my family here. Luckily, I was with Colin's family over the weekend, and it looked like a hurricane relief center because we were all on phones and computers trying to navigate the puzzle of getting her out of there, and first getting her out of there temporarily into some air conditioning. It's 90 degrees there. There are no hotels within an hour and 15 minutes, Kendall. There's nothing open. The town is closed. So we had a list of hotels, and we had to call. We were on the phone for hours, calling every single hotel as far north as we could, as far east. You can't go south because the towns are destroyed. We literally found the last hotel room in a small town in Texas, an hour and 10 minutes away, that we could put her there and the dog until we can get there. So for the first time in almost a week, my mom can take a shower, which is so weird to say. And she can sit in air conditioning. She's there now. She sounded so much better. So we are leaving tonight. Colin and I are flying into Houston. We're going to rent stuff. And we are meeting my cousin Pete, who his family owns a masonry company. My mother-in-law, Mama Haas's sister, Susan. Pete volunteered out of the goodness of his heart to drive the 18-hour drive. He's on the road as we speak right now. So we will meet Pete in Lake Charles tomorrow. We're going to pack whatever we can into his 24-foot truck. And as Bubba said, we're getting the heck out of there. I'm getting my mom out of there, and she's going to come up here to live. Right now, it's just, we'll go back and move everything when there's electricity and we're able to move her. But right now, it's just a matter of literal life and death. Right. And I just want to thank everybody, because something like this, I tweeted this over the weekend, that crises really show who people really are, and it shows people's true grace. And it really did this time, because a complete stranger who watches this show and listens to the radio show saw my plea for tarps for my mom's roof, because I needed to contain the damage. But again, there's no businesses open in Lake Charles. So there's nobody to help. And there's 78,000 other people that need help other than my mom. And a viewer, she doesn't know me, she watches the show every day. A viewer knew a guy in Iowa who knew guys in Dallas that are roofers that were coming to Lake Charles. So a Jason radio show viewer called this guy Cody in Iowa, who called his friends in Dallas, who went to Lake Charles and helped my mom.
Wow. That's incredible.
So if you're in Iowa watching, please get your roof from Quick Roofing.
The good people. The good people.
Damn it, if you're in Iowa, get your roof from Quick Roofing, because Cody and they're just really good people. But I could tell you countless examples. Jeff and my friend Alexis and Lisa and Mim, Amy at my talk. I have 80 jobs, and it's hard. It's a burden to everybody. I feel bad because I'm gone again. I have to leave again.
Don't feel
bad.
But
everybody, Sheila Oliver, the big kahuna, who I like to make fun of, Sheila jokingly yelled at me yesterday. She goes, "Get out of here." She goes, "Why are you even here?" And I go, "Well, I got to go to work tomorrow." But everybody's just full of grace and so much love, and it means so much to me. So now it's the only puzzle piece left is when she gets here, I got to find her a place to live. So just blunt honesty, if you're watching and you know a house to rent, please send it my way from my mom. She has a big dog. It's the size of a small horse, but the dog is kind. But anyway, that's the last challenge, but that's the least of the problems. I can put her in a hotel until, she can't stay with me. I have a condo, and my condo unit the neighbors would laugh. But anyway, the neighborhood meeting would be a little interesting if I had a mini horse in my apartment in my condo. But I just want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart, and to all of those in Lake Charles that don't have a son or a daughter to rescue them. My heart goes out to you, because thank God I have my mother and my mother has me, but there's thousands of people that are still in that city that have no resources. So I really hope FEMA and the government and great organizations like the Red Cross can get in there and help them. God bless the good people of Louisiana and Texas, and God bless and thank you. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Crying with Jason. Weekdays. Welcome to the new Fox show, Crying with Jason. Weekdays at 11. Grab a Kleenex and hang with us, won't you? I promise the rest of the show won't have any more tears. I promise. I'm going to try. Maybe. TMZ may make me cry. Actually, the first story in the hot dish is going to make me cry. Let's get to it, everybody. It is time for the hot dish. Here we go. That's delicious. Let's start off. Actually, I'm not kidding. This is just a horrible story. Hollywood lost, in every sense of the word, a superhero over the weekend. Chadwick Boseman died at just 43 years old. That's just even weird reading it off the teleprompter. Mm-hmm. He had privately been battling colon cancer for 4 years. He became an international superstar for playing Black Panther. And if you haven't seen this, I would encourage you to watch the whole thing. We can't run the whole thing because I have to cry more at the end of the show. Marvel released just a moving tribute honoring him. Look at a portion of it.
It was Chadwick Boseman's performance in 42 that really made us take a second look. There is such an honor and dignity to the way that he played Jackie Robinson that we knew we needed for the character of T'Challa, the Prince of Wakanda.
Chadwick is an amazing actor and we thought would fit perfectly with the MCU.
Black Panther himself, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick, he has a lot of depth. It was amazing as an audience member to look into his eyes and see what's going on.
We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe.
A lot of the things about the
Well, isn't that true? Angela Bassett, Chadwick's co-star in Black Panther, wrote on Instagram, "This young man's dedication was awe-inspiring, his smile contagious, his talent unreal. So I pay tribute to a beautiful spirit, a consummate artist, a soulful brother. Rest in peace, sweet Prince of Wakanda forever." Sterling K. Brown wrote, "I don't have words. Thank you for all you did while you were here, and thank you for being a friend. You are loved and you will be missed." And Jordan Peele summed it up. "This is a crushing blow." We got to get to TMZ, but I just want to read one more from Bob Iger from the Disney company. I think he puts it's the perfect bow. "We are all heartbroken by the tragic loss of Chadwick Boseman, an extraordinary talent and one of the most gentle and giving souls I've ever met. He brought enormous strength, dignity, and depth to his groundbreaking role of Black Panther, shattering myths and stereotypes." And there's more of that from Bob. It's great. On Mondays, we get a special serving of hot dish all the way from Hollywood. Please give it up for Brad from TMZ. Hi, Brad.
Hey, good morning, Jason. How are you?
Good. You guys are covering the fact that the VMAs paid a really, really nice tribute to Chadwick. What did they do?
Well, they did. They actually opened the show last night, Jason. Keke Palmer was the host. And right as things kind of started, MTV announced not only were they doing a special tribute to Chadwick, but they were actually dedicating the entire show to him. He has had some moments with MTV over the years. One year he donated one of his winnings to someone who he felt was a real life hero. And like you had kind of said there, I mean, shocking is the word that so many people have used with this death. I mean, like you said, 43 years old, private battle, but it really just kind of goes to show you, you never really know what your neighbor or favorite actor or even the person sitting next to you might be going through. So it's kind of another example to lead with kindness.
You know what I thought, Brad? Quiet dignity. That's what I kept. I think it's a perfect way. Quiet, and all of his co-stars, I know you read that, nobody ever knew. He never let it interfere with his work ethic, his spirit, or his energy. It's just amazing.
He was a real-life superhero, and actually just 2 years ago when he was in the middle of this battle, he went and visited children at St. Jude's Hospital where he spoke. I mean, he was always doing something for others, given what he was dealing with himself.
Absolutely. Let's move on to something far less important, but we all need a smile, and this will make us at least smile. Harry and Meghan, so they're in California now. They're in a new house, and the neighbors are already sick of them.
Yeah, they got a new spot in Montecito, which is a little bit north of Los Angeles, and neighbors are a little upset because with new celebrities brings new noise. So there's more fans there, there's more photographers there. They hear the buzz of helicopters a couple times a day now that they didn't used to hear. So it's a welcoming community, but a few adjustments have to be made, that's for sure.
Yeah, the word adjustment, probably accurate. A few adjustments. Finally, Adele has folks talking this weekend. What did she do?
Well, she posted a photo in a bikini top. She looks great. Only issue is she was making a little note about the Notting Hill Festival, which is something over in the UK, which a lot of Caribbean people celebrate over there. And she's wearing a Jamaican bikini top, and she has her hair in knots. So a lot of people are calling for cultural appropriation. She has not responded to these claims yet or these accusations, but I think a lot of people have a point here.
Yeah, and I hope they give her some grace and an opportunity to explain herself and you know, take her apology if she issues one.
Hope so. Yeah, absolutely.
Brad, thank you so much. Brad from TMZ. Get more at tmz.com and check your local listings for TMZ on TV. Because I say that because Adele's just one of those celebrities I think in my heart never really wants to intentionally offend anybody. You know, there are celebrities that like to poke them. She's not one of them. Yeah.
No.
And as far as in the Chadwick Boseman story, another cliche, but here we go. If there's something we can learn from this horrific loss of an icon, really, especially to children of color, is that to all of us dudes out there that are under 50, nearing 50, let's all go get checked for colon cancer. You know, it's been drummed into us since my ex-wife Katie Couric started doing it. But you know, go get it. But we always hear over 50. This proves nobody's invincible.
No.
I'm nearing 50. I'm gonna go get checked because the rates are going up, and we can prevent it. We can prevent it. So guys, don't be stubborn. Let's go get it. Let's go get checked. Not together. I mean, let's just not. I'll go alone. But yeah. Next on the dish, the MTV Video Music Awards, better known as the VMAs, were held last night. The award show was held in various outdoor locations in New York and LA. And one of the moments that folks are still talking about this morning, Lady Gaga's performance. She was all over. It was basically like the Gaga show. She was joined on stage by somebody else. Look at this.
Hands up to the sky. I'll be your galaxy. I'm about to fly. Rain on me, shoot on me. Hands up to the sky. MTV, I'm about to fly.
That is Rain on Me. Her number one duet with Ariana Grande Latte, Gaga, was Artist of the Year, and then The Weeknd won for Video of the Year, and then she won like a new
something.
Megatron Award.
It was like a something.
Yeah, it was like it's like a Transformers name, but she won an
it.
award basically meaning she does a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. Look, the show was cool. I get what the producers were trying to do. They tried to trick us into thinking the show was live, and I hate fake applause. I hate canned.
I knew you set that up so well.
I can't stand fake applause, but they did it. They did it actually well. If you were just tuning in, you would think, oh, they're in a stadium.
Right.
Hope they're socially distanced. But no, it was all fake, all an illusion.
I I didn't mind the fake applause.
Okay,
I agree.
okay.
I think it does the same thing like it does for this show. It just builds back that vibe that we're all very used to.
Yeah.
And gives us some comfort in a time of a lot of uncomfortable.
Well, and as we just said, everyone's wearing masks, so it's really easy to lip sync. So
I don't think they did.
they didn't, but I'm saying somewhere Ashley Simpson is very sad she's not famous now.
Right.
Because, you know, this would be a
Right.
great time for her.
So it'd be a good time.
That's a very old
It was
reference.
interesting to me, though. I'm glad you brought it up because people were really debating that about Gaga and Ariana Grande. And it's like, you think those two women?
No,
Come on.
they wouldn't.
No.
Next in the dish, we're slowly learning who will be vying for the Mirror Ball trophy this fall. The cast for the upcoming season of Dancing with the Semi-Stars is starting to fill out, according to the journalists at Us Weekly. Here is who is confirmed so far. Anne Heche. Yay. Former Desperate Housewives and Dallas reboot star Jesse Metcalfe is going to be on there. Former NF star Vernon Davis and Backstreet Boy, Backstreet's Back All Right, AJ McLean. They're all signed up. They joined former Bachelorette Caitlin Bristow, who was announced earlier this summer. Now, you heard the name so far. Are you excited?
I love Caitlyn. She was one of my favorite bachelorettes. So anytime I can see Caitlyn just being goofy is good. And I like Vernon Davis.
Who is Kate? Refresh my memory. Who is Caitlyn?
She's the one who was original season. You know, Nick, the guy that everybody hates, that
Nick
has the
Viall.
podcast.
Nick Viall, yeah.
He was originally on her season. He was her number 2 pick.
Okay.
Like he came in second. But she's hilarious. She's from Canada. She's got the little sparrow tattoos.
Okay.
She's funny. You'd like her.
Nick Viall, that young man loves himself.
Oh, yeah, and nobody else.
He loves, if you look at his Instagram, and I hate follow him. I hate follow
you
him.
do? Okay.
But I do, but he loves, I don't think the young man has clothes. I think
Probably
he's
not.
he's eternally shirtless.
Well, he's been on the show like 17 times and still hasn't found love on the show or in real life. So I don't know what that says about him, but it says something about him.
Yeah, he is thirsty. Next in the dish, the live-action remake of Mulan is actually hitting Disney Plus later this week. Not in theaters, Disney Plus. But it won't be included in your subscription. I know you've heard about this, so here's the dealio. Disney's still going to charge you $30 to watch the new release. But if you're willing to wait, I think a lot of you will, you may be able to get it for free. Now, apparently, rumor has it, Disney made a bit of a mistake on its streaming platform. An old Disney Plus pre-order page for Mulan said the movie would be available to all subscribers in December. Now, Mickey Mouse had Minnie go in the IT department and take that page down, but we've already seen it, so who knows? So if you can wait till December, Mulan might be for free.
It makes sense. I mean, it's what, 3-4 months later, they'll have it on the platform then.
I'm going to do it just because I want to see it. I love Disney, and I want to support our good friend, our new friend, Dua, who followed me on Instagram. I felt it was one of the few times I smiled this weekend.
Hey.
Victoria Principal and Dua from St. Paul. He was a great guest on our show. You can see that interview on our show page. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Mulan's one of my favorites.
Me too. I loved the animated movie when I was a kid. I love that she was a female that was like totally bad. You know, like she was so cool.
Do you know who sings "I'm Gonna Make a Man Out of You"?
No.
Donny Osmond.
Stop it.
Yeah, Donny Osmond sings.
That's Donnie?
That's Donnie. Yeah, he took off his Technicolor Dream coat and started singing. Yeah, Donnie and Marie. Wonder how they feel about the fact that RuPaul's Drag Race is now in their old theater in the Flamingo Hotel. Oh, still ahead. We're chatting with local artist Kiklia about his new State Fair book when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Thank you for being here. Well, our next guest has been to the Minnesota State Fair every year for the last 45 years. And because he is missing out this year, he wanted to do something special, to put the State Fair and his art in a book. Please welcome the man behind Impressions of the State Fair 2020, Kikli. Hi, Kikli. How are you?
Hey, Jason. Nice to see you.
Well, yeah,
Thanks
I know.
for having me on.
nice to virtually see you. I know this seems, let's start here. I know this seems like a pretty generic question, but everybody that loves the fair loves it for very specific reasons. Maybe it's a family tradition. Maybe they love the food. Maybe it's the animals. What is it about the fair that makes it so important to you?
I don't know. It's the tradition of it. It's being there. It's something to count on every year, I guess. It comes this time every year, and it's kind of the lead into fall.
Yeah.
And into going into our winter caves. So
it's the last. So it's basically the last hurrah.
Correct.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, okay. Yeah. You've been there every year for 45 years. Did you set out to do a record, or this just happened accidentally?
Well, no. It just my family were they were avid fairgoers. My dad actually he was a teacher, so we would actually go on the last day every year, and my brothers really don't like the fair as much as I do because of that. Because the next day it's like you spend all day there. You have your new white shoes on, you get them all dirty. Next day you got to wake up, after coming home at 10 p.m., and just like having to get up the next day and go to school. So, I love it.
Well, I love your art. I'm holding the book right here, Impressions of the State Fair 2020. What? Tell me a little bit about the book. What is it? Is it your memories, or is it? Are there paintings based on memories, or what is it?
Yeah, so it's from my sketchbooks. I've kept sketchbooks over the years, especially after I got back from Paris. I spent some time in Paris after a car accident, relearning how to draw and paint, and I started painting there. And to get back my strength, I kept a lot of sketchbooks. So when I came back home, it was kind of hard to find places here to draw. And when I went to the state fair, I was just like, oh, this is great, because, all you do is people watch, and you have people, buildings, everything. And again, it's all the memories that I have over the years that that were affecting the drawings. And I tried to put that in my paintings then. The paintings actually started out after I found out the fair was canceled. I felt like I had to do something. It was during that time too. It was like everything was going on, and I just wanted to do something positive. So I took my sketches from my sketchbook, and I just wanted to see if I could do it. Like if I could just paint them and see what would come of them. It wasn't until maybe 40 paintings in that I was like, wait a minute, this might actually make a cool book.
Yeah. And it absolutely, and it has. And I got to tell you, this is unbelievable. And this seems going to seem like a weird question, but because this is so personal to you, how many years ago did you say, Kickley, was the accident?
2013.
Okay, so
end of 2013. So I spent, I don't know how long. Shout out to the good people at PDR in Edina.
Yeah.
I went. I tried everything. I was like trying to get jumpstart. I kept went chiropractic approach, acupuncture, massage. I hate needles too, and I had needles all over me. Didn't work, and my chiropractor, Dr. Matt, he was like, "You need to go to physical therapy," and it was there that that I started really recovering. So
well, your gift of painting has not diminished. This is absolutely, it's beautiful, and it's like I've been saying this. Whether we're looking for music or movies or shows that are kind of warm blankets, I think we're all looking for that right now. And this is going to provide a warm blanket for people. Before we go, another general question, but for any fair lover, I think it's a fair one. What are your must-dos when you go to the fair, like food-wise? Do you have a routine?
Yeah, that's easy. The state fair is like I say is the only place you can go in. It doesn't matter if it's 6 in the morning or whenever, and it's like I can eat a hot dog.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but probably my favorite foot-long hot dog. I can eat multiple ones in a day because again, you're trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna get this in.
Yeah.
Before the end, before this is over. Malt from the dairy building, or I kind of switched to more of a parfait.
Yes.
with raspberries. So I think you kind of get a little bit more ice cream.
You do. See, that
yeah,
is my strategy too. I don't do
yeah,
the malt.
exactly.
I
do you remember? Do you remember they used to have a strawberry shortcake?
Yes.
And they would pile the ice cream on. I was like, this is absurd. You're getting so much ice cream for this. And then a few years later, they totally cut it out. Probably because they're like, we're losing so much money on these.
they were realizing. Well, Kickley, continued success to you. We're going to put this up on our Facebook page. I know we're going to sell it. You're going to sell a lot. Thank you for doing this. You're going to bring a smile to a lot of people who missed the fair this year. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, and safe travels to go see your mom.
Thank you.
Get your mom.
I
My
appreciate
heart goes out to you.
Oh, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. For the book, everybody, head to statefairimpressions.com. We're going to take a break and we'll be back. Speaking of the fair, after the break, we're going to do a throwback of one of our favorite moments. Actually, maybe a couple. Stay with us. Back in a moment. Welcome back, everyone. Well, the end of summer just isn't the same this year without seeing all of you at the State Fair. Seeing you and taking pictures and apologizing for my overly sweaty polo shirt. I'm very, very sorry. and apologizing to you last year because my lip looked like a sausage. I apologize. It was pretty bad. It was that didn't end well.
Ouch.
But we're reliving some of our favorite fair moments. None of what I just said is any of them. All this week. Today, it's one of the most memorable celebrity interviews I've ever done. I talk about this on the regular so much our executive producer makes a drinking game out of it. Nearly 20 years ago, okay, did you have to write that? Nearly 20 years ago, I was 12. I was interviewing Meg Ryan via satellite about her movie Kate and Leopold. But when she heard that I was from Minnesota, the only thing she wanted to talk about is the butter sculpture of Princess Kay of the Milky Way. Look.
I am fascinated by that. Do the people actually sit in the freezers all day in a parka? It's a very disturbing idea, but I guess it's hilarious and fun when you're when you're there. I mean, are a lot of people carved out of the butter, and then there's a contest? This is what I imagine. Now, the whole idea that you don't win and then get carved, but all the contestants have been carved. It's unbelievable. How long does it take? You have to be there for hours? That's a lot of butter. How big are the heads? People don't know about this, I don't think, in the rest of the country.
No, they really don't, Meg. My favorite part is when she goes like this. Okay, is it this big? About that big? She's like voguing.
So many questions.
So these interviews, for people that don't know, these interviews are 5 minutes, maybe.
And that's what you get.
If the producer's nice. Mm-hmm. If they're not and they want to get to Salt Lake City, Joe in Salt Lake City, they're like, cut them off. We're at 3:30. But anyway, these are 5-minute interviews. Mm-hmm. You want to maybe talk about the movie they're promoting. Do you know I didn't get one question in about Kate and Leopold?
You didn't need to.
Well, no. I mean, the movie was horrendous. But I mean, what?
I liked the movie.
Oh, you did? Yeah, I know. It was garbage. But
but
it didn't. And the publicist was mad. And I said to her, I made a prediction 20 years ago. I said, ma'am, we're going to talk about this more because she went off on this tangent than we ever would about your dumb movie.
Right.
And 20 years later, if I had $1 for every time I rolled that clip, I could have bought Jeff more ceramics for a ceramics class, you know?
Seriously.
But
can we get back to you thinking that's a bad movie? What?
It's just, okay, I shouldn't say it's bad. It's a little, I love rom-coms. It's even, come on.
She's Meg Ryan. Any rom-com with Meg Ryan is.
Oh, please, believe me. I'm one of the few people that love City of Angels with Nicolas Cage, which is a downer movie. Don't ever watch it if you're in a good mood. If you do like an Old Yeller combo, like a double feature. And just, yeah. While Meg Ryan is obsessed with the butter sculpture, there's a certain food I love more than anything else at the fair, and that is the Gizmo sandwich. Last year, Kendall and I got a chance to go behind the scenes at Carl's Gizmo stand, where I introduced Kendall to my favorite sandwich. And again, if you look closely, you can see my sausage lip there. I was trying to strategically cover it with my mic. Every time I see footage from last year, that's what I notice. Anyway, this sandwich, if you do not know, if you're one of the 7 people that don't know, it is a ground beef, open-faced ground beef sandwich with Carla's homemade marinara, mozzarella. She gets a special mix of meat from a butcher here in Minnesota. She does our fair and the Iowa State Fair, and then she goes to Bermuda. And that's it. She does. Carla's like my aunt. I love her. And she was bummed. She was going to try to come here this year just to do like maybe in a parking lot, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
And I say this every year that we do the story, and people go, oh, why do you always talk about them? Here's why. They're good people. And I love to spotlight good people that own good companies. And she treats her employees well. It's a family business, and I love her. She's, as I say, good people.
Good people.
And that food, ooh, yeah.
It's good. I'm not a big meat eater.
Yeah.
The sauce, though, her special sauce, really, like, if you don't eat a ton of meat, next year,
yeah,
give it a try.
And we have to go, but I didn't know that about you. It was so funny. We go to do the thing, we get up the couch, and then Fluffy over here goes, I'm just kind of a herbivore. I'm like, well, we should have, probably planned this better. After the break, 2 of my favorite new documentaries on Disney Plus. I think you'll like them when we come back. Back after this. I'm a herbivore. Share the bow with them, but you won't share that piece of wood. Welcome back. It's been nearly 23 years since we all saw that famous scene from Titanic. Little fun fact, that shot was shot in Mexico, and the sun was going down. They built half of the Titanic in Mexico, on a beach in Mexico. The sun was going down, and it was a beautiful sunset. And Leonardo DiCaprio yelled at James Cameron, we got to get up here and do this. So they rallied the crew and shot that before the sunrise went down.
Leo.
Every time I see that, I thought that was a cool little fun fact. Well, people were interested in the Titanic before the movie, but the fascination only grew after it became like the biggest movie in the world. Now a new documentary is revisiting the shipwreck for the first time, and this is what was surprising. They haven't been back down there in 15 years. Here's a little bit of it.
World-leading experts, armed with state-of-the-art technology.
I'll send this bad boy to the bottom.
It's a race against time to answer questions.
Okay, Tom, last check.
And preserve Titanic for future generations.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Before it's too late.
Let's go back to Titanic. We're cleared to die. Cleared to die.
3 miles deep they went. And the forecast today, it's going to be a high of they went 3 miles down. I believe it's 3 miles. That's where Titanic rests in the waters of the North Atlantic. And this documentary was made several months ago. And the explorer that you saw get into the vessel, he went down there because the main purpose of this particular expedition was to go inside the wreckage. They're using brand new technology to try to see if they can preserve the site for future generations. Let me just give you the short answer on that. Probably not. And I won't tell you, there was not a herbologist, I'm stuck on you. But yeah, who talks about how bacteria is actually devouring that ship, and maybe it's what should happen, but you'll see it when you see the documentary. One of the most interesting finds of Back to Titanic is the fact that, we've seen the stern, we've seen the bow, we've seen pictures of it in National Geographic, we've seen it in the movie, but what they discovered in this was the stateroom. There is a piece of the ship that they know was the stateroom of Benjamin Guggenheim, the Guggenheim Museum. He was one of the most notable passengers on that ship. They found the Guggenheim stateroom chunk in between the two pieces, because the Titanic split in two, and they're about, I think, a mile apart. In between, they found the Guggenheim stateroom.
Just sitting there?
The portion of it, you see the porthole, and that is the portion where they know that's where Guggenheim had his luxurious stateroom.
Wow.
Yeah, it's sad to see the deterioration. There's starting to be the pancake effect, where the floors are starting to collapse upon each other because of time. But fascinating. Yeah. Back to Titanic on Disney Plus. Click National Geographic. You know, it's divided into sections, and you'll see it there. Another documentary I recently watched on Disney Plus focuses on the life of legendary lyricist and screenwriter Howard Ashman. I showed you this trailer about a month ago. He's the man behind some of the biggest animated movies in history. Look.
As a lyricist, the last great place to do musicals is in animation.
The combination of Howard Ashman's talent and the Walt Disney name was a home run waiting to happen.
The stuff that was coming out of Howard's pen lyrically was just unbelievable.
It's quiet, you know what I mean?
It's a quiet village.
Yeah.
Howard and Alan Menken had captured the imagination of a generation. We knew something really special was happening, but what we didn't know was that in 9 months, Howard would be gone.
And Howard said, we really have to have a serious talk. I'm sick.
Yeah. Ashman helped create The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and his beloved Aladdin. He was really, really in love with the story of Aladdin. He died from complications of AIDS in 1991. And I knew this, you know, I'm a nerd, I'm a Disney nerd. I knew the legacy of Howard Ashman. For all of you, if you do not, you will realize what we lost and what we have because of Howard. Howard, he did Little Shop of Horrors. He worked on the music for Little Shop of Horrors. He was instrumental. Disney didn't even, this is the one little fun fact I'll leave you. He had done Beauty and the Beast. He had already done The Little Mermaid. Disney didn't even specifically order Aladdin. Didn't even order it, didn't even assign them. Howard Ashman wrote a mock-up. He wrote an entire mock-up of the movie with songs inserted, ideas for songs inserted like Prince Ali, without even being assigned, pushed it over to Disney, almost a fully completed movie. That's how talented he was. He saw story structure, he saw songs within that structure, and he presented it to Disney. And then, he didn't live to see the final Beauty and the Beast or Aladdin, but his work is all over pop culture, and we're better. And now I just think the only sad part is what we lost, what we'll never have. And I think the same thing with Chadwick Boseman, what we're not going to have, the talent we've lost. Both Howard and Back to Titanic are available right now on Disney Plus. Stay right there, everybody. We'll be back right after these words. Welcome back to our show, everyone. Don't forget, the show never stops on our social media. Videos are posted throughout the day. And special content like our Jason Show Before the Show. To find all of this, all you have to do is search for Jason Show TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And also don't forget about our YouTube channel. Full episodes of our show can be found there. Hit that subscribe button. You can even have it remind you when a new episode is posted. And thanks, as always, for your support. And we'll be posting updates about my adventures this week as well. Stay right there, everyone. We're going to wrap up the show right after these words. And we're back, wrapping things up on this Tuesday. Kendall's back. Hey.
Hi.
I just want to say thank you, executive producer Jeff. I've been looking at him too. So many nice comments coming in about my mom and her situation after Hurricane Laura. Thank you so much. I would encourage all of you, if you can, the Red Cross has set up several donation opportunities. All you have to do is Google Hurricane Laura relief. Donate what you can. Like I said, my mother, though it's horrible, my mother is lucky. She has family and she can be rescued. There are so many that cannot. So please do what you can. I now see what $5 can do. I see what help from people can do. I knew it before, but now it's been highlighted to me in a way that I never thought. So whatever you can do to donate to help about 100,000 people who are literally homeless right now and probably will be that way for about a month. Donate what you can. Go to the Red Cross and Google Hurricane Laura. And again, thanks to all of you. I'll update you as I can. I will hopefully try to come back on Friday, but probably most likely on Monday. Kendall and Shane will be manning the store, and they'll do a great job, and I appreciate you supporting them. Tomorrow, we're going to chat live with Josh Hutcherson from the Hunger Games and how you can binge the franchise next week for free. That's going to do it for us. Go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. I love you, Mom. I'm coming. See you guys.